send on the other songs.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 491. It's Tuesday, March 26, 2013, 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Internet talk radio for your imagination. Mike Matthews broadcasting from the last place on earth, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. Today we hear from Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, John Deere the engineer. Plus we bring you the segment News Random, where you'll want to think twice before paying a lot for that sushi dinner.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And the Supreme Court heard testimony on Proposition 8, and it's hard to tell right now who's the winner.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
But with all the support it's been getting with that red equals sign all over Facebook, I think it would be the same-sex marriage people. So many people on Facebook changed their profile to that red equal sign. There was definitely some interesting discussion at the Supreme Court, and by the looks of it, a lot of those judges don't want to deal with this issue. They'd rather watch a sport. Oh, can't we sweep this under the carpet for another 50 years?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That sounded a little like Floyd the Floorman. So you'll have to see some of the back and forth. You won't believe your ears
Mike's
of what they were saying to each other.
Daily
I mean, the people
Podcast
that are defending Proposition 8
Yeah!
or Proposition 8 kind of sound a little ridiculous. Oh, look who just walked in.
Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, the gift shop supervisor. And if I ever get married, I better make sure to procreate. Otherwise, I shouldn't be married.
That seems to be what the defenders of Proposition 8 are saying. Charles Cooper, defending Proposition 8, the lawyer Charles Cooper, said marriage was designed to advance the state's interest in responsible procreation. Because everyone engages in responsible procreation these days, you know your responsibilities. You gotta go
Mike Matthews.
Sorry, just seems a little crazy. Anyway, he said that marriage could be threatened if same-sex couples with no ability to bear children could marry, following this line of logic. Thankfully, someone with brains showed up. Justice Elena Kagan asked if the same rationale would allow a state to deny marriage to people over 55. She said if both the woman and the man are over the age of 55, there are not a lot of children coming out of that marriage, she said. Hello, right? What about other couples that just can't have kids biologically? I mean, should they have to divorce because of that? What, are we going to outlaw adoption now? Well, Mr. Cooper answered maybe so, but since men remain fertile throughout life, marriage serves state interests by imposing obligations of fidelity and monogamy. Now I get really confused here. To deter husbands from extramarital relations with younger women that could produce unintended offspring, he said. He said all that. And if you follow that line of reasoning, you're so far in the dark ages, you're not allowed to use the wheel anymore because you've gone back so far. The bubonic plague will be killing you off shortly. Oh, look, who else just walked in? Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Mike, you were saying that the justices did not even want to look at this case? Yes, over and over again. According to this article on the Wall Street Journal's website, it said that, well, like, for example, Justice Kennedy showed sympathy for the argument that it was too early to know whether gay marriage could be harmful or not. So it was going along the lines of, well, we don't know if this is harmful or not, we shouldn't have it. And then the lawyer that was challenging Proposition 8, Theodore Olson, when some of the justices brought up that under California law, gay couples can register domestic partnerships that provide the same rights and responsibilities as marriage, Mr. Olson said that the ban on interracial marriage, by that logic, the court could have told the two people that were getting married, Mildred and Richard Loving, that the interracial couple back in 1967, quote, "You can't get married, but you can have an interracial union." Mr. Olson said everyone would know that that was wrong. I'm no legal expert, but I know from reading this that that's called the Loving versus Virginia court case that led to the lifting of the ban on interracial marriage in 1967, which some states didn't recognize until like just a couple of years ago. So, you know, that's, people are going to think different things. That's what makes America. Everyone has different opinions and such. But you look on the internet, you look on the Facebook, you listen to the arguments that are being said right now in the highest court in the land, and you gotta go, it's time, damn it. Mike, I made a big equal sign on the floor. I see that. You made the entire floor red, and then you made the little pinkish equal signs there. Very constructive. What did you use? Paint, because I'm Floyd the Floorman. Okay, great. Paint on the bottom of our shoes. That's something. We can ask the Supreme Court to ban paint on floors, perhaps. That would be one ban I'd be for.
Mike Matthews, I'm never going to change my profile picture. It's always going to be that equal sign from now on.
Even if they do strike down Proposition 8?
That's right, because I'm supportive of same-sex marriage. And I hate any pictures that are taken of me.
Chely, come on, have some self-esteem.
Okay.
Mike, I wonder if anyone's going to comment on this. Well, we'll read your comments on the section emails from email. Everyone has opinions on this, and it is definitely a lively topic, and it's probably at its liveliest that it's ever been. Mike's Daily Podcast at gmail.com. You can also email me there if you'd like to be a guest on the show or if you'd like to sponsor the show. Mike's Daily Podcast at gmail.com. Also, you can find the link to where you can listen to the show in iTunes. That's at mikesdailypodcast.com. We got the link there. Listen to the show in iTunes, and you can rate this show and rank this show as well, and more people find out about us if you do that. You can also find links to where to find us on Facebook, Twitter, Yelp, and YouTube. And you can also read the blog and see the podcast picture, all at mikesdailypodcast.com.
News Random.
When you go and get sushi, and you pay all that money for a sushi roll, are you really getting the fish that they say on the menu that you're getting? No, you're not. According to this article written in The Pioneer, which is a local paper, Paula Moore wrote, and she's with the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, that a study just released by the ocean conservation group Oceana has uncovered widespread seafood fraud across the United States. 1/3 of the more than 1,200 fish samples that Oceana bought from restaurants, supermarkets, and sushi bars and DNA tested were found to be mislabeled. Premium red snapper is almost never red snapper. White tuna is more often escalar, a species that has garnered the unforgettable nickname the X-lax fish. It's a deep-sea bottom feeder full of wax esters similar to castor or mineral oil that are not digestible by humans, and eating it can cause severe gastrointestinal distress. And wild or king salmon that you find on the menu is often actually cheaper farmed Atlantic salmon. Paula says in what Oceana calls one of the most egregious swaps, tilefish is a species that often contains dangerous levels of mercury, and it is substituted for halibut and red snapper. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration warns pregnant women, children, and other vulnerable populations not to eat tilefish. Don't forget Jeremy Piven's getting his massive mercury poisoning from eating too much sushi, according to him. Now, Paula doesn't want you to eat fish at all, but if you still love to eat sushi, ask some questions to the manager of your restaurant there. Find out, be investigative. Where do they get their fish? And why are they charging so much for basically just a little fish and a lot of rice rolled together with seaweed and avocado cream cheese? So good. As we go outside the last place on earth where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California.
And here's today's podcast picture.
I have to admit that I am the biggest dope on Facebook because I could not figure out how to make that red equal sign my profile picture. I know you have to tag it somehow, and I tried that, and it just never happened. So I made my own, and I also added the line about no one is greater than or less than anyone else, inspired by all the hell I went through in algebra class. But I have that picture at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Mike Matthews, I don't know how to use Facebook. It's like too complicated.
Well, you got the red equal sign to be your profile picture.
I did, Mike Matthews.
Well, how'd you do it?
I willed it into being.
Amazing. Mike, all the red paint that stuck to our shoes is now outside here on the ground, outside of the last place on earth, and I can't clean it up because I'm Floyd the Floorman. Yes, I see all our red footprints everywhere here on the ground. Okay, well, I guess that's just going to have to be a remembrance of this infamous day. Mike Matthews, I think couples that are over 50 all around the world are going to try procreating tonight. Thank you for that lovely image in my head. Mike, love is a many splendid thing. Yeah, it's something, that's for sure. Tomorrow we'll bring you the return of the segment, the MIKELOPEDIA INSANICA, plus we'll hear from Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster. And speaking of marriage, although this is a heterosexual marriage, an impending marriage, I would like to congratulate the girl that does the end voice, also does the podcast picture voice on Mike's Daily Podcast, and that would be Ariel Jacobson. She just got engaged to her boyfriend, Jimmy. Congrats, Ariel!
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!